So, tip number 2, I realized that I had to let go of what I thought I was in order to become who I am. So I know that quote's been going around a lot. People see that on Facebook and I love how people just like it. Yes, that's so true. And yet, what are we doing about it? Debbie Ford had this amazing quote, and she said, we have to look at our darkness because if we don't, we'll carry it right into the future. And that's exactly what I did. So by being afraid of my shadows, by being afraid to look at the dark pieces, all the hurts and pains that I had inside, then I was never able to become who I needed to be. And a lot of that, is from childhood. And if we think about the models that our parents set for us, even if they were superior models, can you imagine? I mean, some of you know just the pressure trying to live up to that. Can I ever have that 45-year family relationship, the love that my parents had? And for those of you who didn't have good models, how do you not repeat that? And so it took time. I really had to look at the stories that my family had told about what it meant to love. And I have to tell you, they were pretty shocking. I realized that the women, the matriarchs in my life, felt that, the important thing, you just have to have a man. And he just needs to be a fairly good man and a man who likes to work. So, really the standards for love and care were really low. Our family, or the women in our life, really felt like, they needed someone who, could stand with them and, offer good security, offer good employment. But there really was no criteria, for what that meant, for really finding love that lasts. That, you just worked through your problems, you worked through your differences, and you just held on. Okay, it didn't really matter, what was going on in your life. Okay, so he had a roving eye, or, he was not faithful to you, or, spent a lot of time away at home or at the job. Something was always a greater focus because, by the time you retired, you'd have them all to yourself and it was going to be okay. So you know your stories. So if we don't release the darkness, if we don't release the stories we've been told, then we just carry it in to our next life and our next experience, and we never really get the love that we need. So if that's something that resonates with you, take a look and let's see what stories you've been told about how your mothers or grandmothers or aunts, cousins, how do they view love? What do they see? And how much of that have you brought into your own story?